What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the latest edition of From Quitters to Winners. Guys, I hope you guys have been enjoying this series. We're going to keep it going, but today we're going to start the subsection of From Quitters to Winners, and that is when to keep going versus when to quit. I guess I didn't expect that now. You know, sometimes we just need to let it go, but sometimes we need to know, okay, when do I pursue? When do I keep going? And when do I just need to let it go? So for the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about these two diametrically opposed mindsets, okay? But for now, we're going to talk about when to keep going. And in particular, the subsection of this video is when things are getting hard. You get what I'm saying? So there's going to be things in life that we want, but they're going to be hard to achieve. I still remember when I was in the third grade and I got introduced to multiplication. It was something that was completely foreign to me. Now, mind you, 2 plus 2, 5 minus 3, all the addition, subtraction, that was just fine to me. But when it came to multiplication, I was struggling. And I mean, bad, right? And I thank God for parents who loved me, who cared for me, who cared about my education. And they said, you know what? I see my child is struggling. Here's what we're going to do. We're not going to go up to the teacher. We're not going to go there and say, oh, why are you giving my son this? My son is struggling. So you know what I'm going to do? Let me tell you what my parents did. My parents they went to the store and they got me a big poster board with the timetables 1 through 12. And they put it in my room. Literally, like they made me come face to face with my struggles. But what happened was, this is something that I was not forced to look at, but it was in my room. So I passively looked at it. And then I began to actively look at it. And what was happening is I was beginning to register. It's like, oh, okay, so, 1 times 3 and, 7 times 3 and, okay, timetables, this makes sense. These are multiples of 4. These are multiples of 6. These are all the way up to 12, to where it became easy to me and I was back on track, right? But the initial thing was hard. But the only thing that was hard about it was that it was unfamiliar. And so some of you guys are saying something is hard. Some of you are saying, I'm bad at math. Some of you are saying, I'm bad at science. Some of you are saying, I'm bad at this. I'm bad at that. And it's hard. But some of y'all, it's hard because it's unfamiliar. And some of y'all, it might be familiar, but it might be hard because you just haven't taken the time to get familiar with it. You see, a lot of people think, in particular with math, a lot of people have low math self-efficacy. That's just a fancy way of saying you guys think you're bad at math, right? A lot of people think that they're bad at math because they don't get it immediately. They don't get the algebraic equation, the hypotenuse and the please excuse my fear. They don't get it immediately. And so they automatically begin to think I'm bad at math. When the reality is, there are very few people who can get equations quickly like that. That can figure out something in their head and without a calculator and all that. There's very few people. So you're comparing yourself to the 1% of the 1% of math geniuses. And what you need to do is familiarize yourself. You say, you know what? This might take me longer than immediate. This might take me a little while to get. But that doesn't mean that I should quit. You see, some of y'all quit just because it takes you just a little bit longer than instant. Now, I'm a millennial, so I can blame you. I can say social media has y'all instantaneous, one of y'all immediate results. And to a degree, that's true. But for some of y'all, I know that you can do it. You guys want it done instantly, whether it's because you waited until the last minute or because you have been putting it off, and you just want to get it over with, or you've been avoiding it. And I'm here to tell you that just because things get hard, that doesn't mean you should quit. If anything, that actually means that you should keep going, right? Now, here's how to determine if it's so hard, why would I even keep going, right? Well, the reason is because typically the things that are hard have great results. When I graduated college, I had to take what's called the GRE. It was a $200 test that basically was the ACT for graduate school in order for me to begin my counseling program and become a therapist, right? But this big test was the thing that was in my way from entry into graduate school as a whole, right? And so as I was studying for it, I'm taking practice tests, I'm buying the books, I'm studying this. I ain't gonna hold you. It was tough, right? But because I knew that if I can keep working at this thing, if I can figure out these words, if I can figure out these equations, if I can figure out this test and study and figure out the strategy, then I'll be able to go to the next step of graduate school and really start working on the things that I want to work on, right? And so sometimes the things that are worth it, the things that we really, really want, it's on the other side of hard, right? So when things get hard, I don't want you to say, oh, this is too hard. This is too much. I've had clients tell me, Mr. Cameron, this is too much. This is too much. And I'm here to tell you today, no, it's not too much. It's just uncomfortable. It is hard, but that is not an excuse for you to quit. It's not an excuse for you to quit, because on the other side of your dreams, on the other side of the things that you desire, on the other side of hard are the things that you deserve, are the things that you've been hoping for, the things that you've been wishing for. The most successful people in the world that have sustaining success know how to keep and push through the hard periods in their life in order to reach what it is that they desire. And they all say that it was worth it. It was the journey that made me who I am. It was the journey that made me tougher. It was the journey that made me the person who was ready to handle the blessing that I was asking for. Because when they do that, that's when they go. You know what it is. You should know by now. That's when they go from quitters to winners. And I believe everybody watching this, you guys are destined to be winners. You just have to keep pushing through the hard, because it is worth it. I'll see you guys next week.